In this video, I'm ranking the opening performances from the concert DVDs of the Miami Boys Choir and the Yeshiva Boys Choir. The opening number is one of the most important parts of a show. It has to grab the audience's attention immediately and set the tone for everything that follows. To keep things fair, each opening will receive a score across 7 categories for a total possible score of 50. One thing I won't be scoring is vocals. Across these DVDs, some performances are clearly live, while others are dubbed with studio recordings. Since that isn't consistent, it wouldn't be a fair comparison, so this ranking focuses purely on the performance and presentation.
20. Roy Hashem.
There's nothing wrong with a simple opening. I actually like when choirs go back to basics and just stand in formation. But compared to what we'll see later in this list, this just doesn't have the ambition to compete. It's the only performance here I've given a 1 for originality. There's very little movement, very little staging, and overall it just feels quite static. That said, the boys look great and the soloists are strong. Given how recent the Torah Today album release was, I've always felt those songs could have had more representation in this show, which makes this opener feel like a bit of a missed opportunity. It's still a solid performance, just not a standout opener.
19.
Straight away, this is more visually interesting than number 20. There's choreography, movement, multiple soloists, and much more expression across the choir. I know this production is quite divisive, but there's no denying that it brings more energy and variety to the stage. The song itself is catchy, and it does a decent job of introducing the show. That said, it still doesn't quite reach the level of the stronger openers higher up.
18. Baruch Haba.
My main issue here is that the opening doesn't actually feel like a choir opener. For the first 3.5 minutes, it's sung by adult soloists. And while that moment when the choir finally comes in is strong, it's just not enough of the performance overall. Another big drawback is the lack of choreography. For a choir like YBC, known for sharp and complex routines, this feels very underwhelming, just occasional clapping, which is why it scores so low in choreography difficulty. There are some positives. It's visually a bit more creative than the previous entries, including profound music video sections between the live clips, and Aaron Cogan's solo stands out.
.17. Hine Matov.
I can already feel the comments coming for this one. Visually, it's very simple. The main appeal here is the alumni themselves. And to be fair, that nostalgia factor does carry a lot of weight. The arrangement is excellent. Hearing such an iconic song performed by past members makes this a really enjoyable moment. Where it falls short is minimal choreography, basic staging, and limited visual interest. But they make up for that with pure stage presence. You can tell how much they're enjoying being up there, and that really comes across. It's not the most impressive opener, but it's definitely a special one.
16. Door. Grand opening.
We have our second Miami Forever era performance. I do think it was a shame that this cohort of kids didn't get their own standalone DVD. David does a great job with the opening solo. Door works well as an opener. Visually though, it feels a bit flat. The screen backdrop and bright lighting don't add much, and the overall stage production is fairly basic. I like that we get a lot of soloists, and Mark Rosenstock has a great section here during the song bridge, which gives the performance a bit of variety not just visually, but also in regards to dynamics and tempo. Certainly the most interesting we've seen so far.
Songs of joy bring happiness to fill up our hearts. Moments with meaning for all to share. In this way we stand apart.
We're going back 25 years here. Opening with a young Yitzy spinner solo is a bold choice, and it works. That alone gives it a strong opening impact. The staging is simple but effective. The smoke and colored backdrop create a nice atmosphere even without choreography. This is still very much a traditional choir-style opener, but it includes multiple sections and soloists, which keeps it engaging.
Rousing retrospective and historical perspective and celebration, a sensation done with so much contemplation.
Not the most exciting performance on the list, but it does its job well.
14. Yiru.
This is the first proper live opener we see from YBC, even though the DVD technically starts with a music video. There's a slightly shaky start, you can see some nerves and even a small formation mix-up, but once it gets going it settles nicely. The soloists are excellent. The live band adds a lot. The stage is big and well lit, and the rock-style arrangement gives it a strong opening feel. It's not the cleanest or most polished performance, but it's solid and sets the tone well.
Shema Yisrael.
This is a well-known and well-liked song, and musically it absolutely works as an opener.
Hashem Shehu, Shehu Elokeinu, Hashem Shehu Elokeinu Ato.
The issue here is more with the staging than the song itself. Visually it feels quite static. The choir stays in 2 rows for most of the performance, and there isn't much movement or variation to keep things engaging on stage. There are plenty of soloists, which helps keep things interesting, and Richie really stands out with strong stage presence. He uses the stage well and brings energy that lifts the performance. But overall it takes a bit of time to feel like it fully gets going as a performance, even though the song itself is strong from the start. Choreography is fairly limited and can look slightly messy in places, and the plain suits don't add much visually either. It does finish strongly, especially with Yurchmil begun coming on stage in the final pose, but compared to other openings, it just doesn't have the same visual impact.
12. Hine Matov.
This is where things start to get more unique. Instead of a live performance, this is essentially a full music video filmed in Jerusalem, which definitely boosts its originality. Visually it looks great, different locations, strong styling, but because it's not a live stage performance, it doesn't have the same impact as others. The slower tempo also makes it feel less energetic as an opener. It's also hard to ignore that many of the soloists shown on screen don't actually match the voices of the soloists singing the song. Of course, this would only irk true Miami superfans. Still, it's creative and memorable. 11. Kane. This is one of the most iconic choreography routines in Miami history. The choreography is sharp, recognizable, and performed in perfect sync. Even now, it's still used whenever the song is performed. However, the majority of the song is sung in static choir formation. The costumes are definitely bold, maybe even a bit absurd, but they're visually memorable, which works in its favor. Strong soloists, great stage presence, and a solid overall performance, but it can feel slightly repetitive and doesn't fully evolve as the song goes on. To me, this performance has always felt like a finale rather than an opener. Still, it's a fantastic performance and definitely a big step up from what we've seen so far in this list.
10. Vehoya Mahane HaKodosh.
Right from the start, the entrance makes an impact. The choir bursts onto the stage with energy, and it immediately feels like the beginning of a big show. The choreography is eye-catching and well-designed. While they do return to a more fixed formation for parts of the song, the movements themselves are sharp and memorable, and it keeps the performance visually engaging. Staging also helps a lot here. The lighting is dynamic, and the large screen behind the stage adds another layer that makes everything feel bigger and more polished. Isaac is a great choice for the opening solo. He brings confidence and presence straight away, which is exactly what you want from an opener. The green sparkly vests look great. This is a really solid, well-rounded opener that does exactly what it needs to do.
9. Milayim Shimoy.
This is a really polished and well-executed opener. The choreography is one of the standout elements here. It's incredibly tight, and the entire choir moves in perfect unison. You can really see the level of rehearsal that's gone into this performance. What makes it even more interesting is the mashup concept. Combining Milayim and Shimoy adds variety and increases the overall choreography difficulty, as they perform the iconic dance routines from both within the same performance. Bringing back past solos Tanny Martin to reprise his original solo is a great touch and adds a strong sense of nostalgia. Visually, the stage looks great. The lighting, live band, and overall atmosphere all contribute to a performance that feels big and energetic. All the kids on stage look thrilled to be up there and are performing enthusiastically. The one thing that holds it back slightly is that it leans heavily on previously performed material. For an opener, it might have been even stronger to showcase something newer, considering the rest of the show was mashups too. That said, this is still a very complete performance, strong choreography, strong staging, and great overall execution.
Eight. Lamandas.
This is a really fun and engaging opener. One of the first things that stands out is how it mixes live performance with pre-recorded clips. That combination keeps the visuals constantly changing and makes it really enjoyable to watch. It's also the only opener on this list that uses props, with each of the boys holding tambourines, and that adds an extra layer of originality and movement to the choreography. Speaking of choreography, it's very strong here. The timing is tight, the movements are clean, and the whole choir looks completely in sync. The song itself works really well as an opener too. It has that fast, energetic feel, but also includes softer sections, which gives the performance some nice contrast and keeps it from feeling one-dimensional. The stage setup adds to the atmosphere as well. The darker lighting gives it a more dramatic feel, and the live band behind them helps build that full concert energy. You also get a lot of crowd reaction shots throughout, which really adds to the sense that this is a big, exciting moment. Overall, this is a dynamic and well-rounded opener that does exactly what you want. It grabs attention and keeps things interesting from start to finish.
7. Shirulo.
This is one of the most original openings on the entire list. It starts with the boys singing from within the audience, which is a really creative way to open the show, before transitioning to a single soloist on stage under a spotlight. That moment is simple but really effective.
Song must have originality, a little bounce, special energy. That's what it takes for it to really last. See the magic spreading fast.
The stage production also stands out. The use of lighting and the tiered steps at the back of the stage give the performance a lot more depth visually and make it feel more like a full production. The choreography is strong and clearly well rehearsed, although it can look slightly messy in places. Even so, there's a lot going on, and it keeps the performance engaging throughout. This is also the Miami experience era, where the kids really knew how to perform, and that confidence comes across clearly on stage.
We're here tonight to share the gift of song. We'll fill this hall with music all night long.
For me, Shirulo as a song choice is a great opener, but I personally don't stream the song often. For me, the one drawback is that the performance loses a bit of momentum towards the end. The opening section is excellent, but it can feel slightly repetitive as it goes on. That said, this is undeniably one of the most well thought out and creative openers we've seen yet, and definitely one of the more memorable ones on the list. 6. Liebeding. This performance is all about energy, and that factor is ultimately what gives Liebeding the edge over Shirulo. From the moment it starts, it's at 100%, and it stays there the entire time. It's fast, it's upbeat, and it never really lets up, which makes it consistently engaging to watch. The choreography is a huge strength here. It's not just ambitious, it's executed almost perfectly. This is easily some of the cleanest choreography we see in the entire list, and it really shows how well rehearsed this era of the choir was. Where this performance loses points is on the visual side. The stage production feels quite minimal, especially compared to some of the earlier Miami eras, and the costumes, the green waistcoats under suits, are fine but not particularly memorable. Coming right after the Milasha Malai era, which also leaned into simpler styling, it does make this feel a bit underwhelming visually. But in terms of performance quality, this is top tier. The soloists are excellent, the energy never drops, and it gives you a really strong sense of what the rest of the show is going to be like.
5. Galay.
This is where Miami really steps things up in terms of production. The stage looks fantastic. The set design, lighting, and especially the raised steps all add a lot of depth and make the performance feel big and dynamic. The choir makes great use of the space, constantly changing levels and formations. The choreography is one of the biggest strengths here. It's very ambitious, with lots of movement and multiple sections, and it keeps the performance engaging the whole way through. It's not quite as perfectly clean as some of the others on this list, but the slight messiness or the movements makes it quite endearing to watch and makes it feel more alive. The costumes are also a highlight. The alternating metallic red and silver shirts from the Yavo era are really eye-catching and help give the performance a strong visual identity. There are strong solos throughout as well, from the opening all the way to the final section, which keeps things varied and interesting. If there's one drawback, it's that the song can feel slightly repetitive in places as an opener. But overall, this is a really impressive high-energy performance with excellent staging and choreography for me.
4. Or Hodosh.
For a performance from 1992, this is genuinely incredible. This is a perfect example of what made Miami so special at its peak: strong soloists, memorable choreography, and a performance that just feels iconic from start to finish. The opening behind the curtain is brilliant. It immediately creates anticipation, and when the choir comes in, it really feels like the start of something big. The choreography is both ambitious and extremely well executed. Even while moving around the stage, the choir maintains formation the entire time, which is seriously impressive. Stark is a standout here, a natural performer who brings a lot of confidence and presence to the stage. Goldweg is more reserved but vocally excellent, and the contrast between the two works really well. The staging might be simpler compared to more modern performances, but it's used very effectively, and everything comes together in a way that still holds up today. This is one of the most iconic openings Miami has ever done.
Three, Malayan.
This is peak Yeshiva Boys Choir. Everything about this performance just works. The choreography is incredibly tight, the entire choir moves in perfect unison, and the level of precision here is honestly hard to beat. The soloist lineup is stacked, and every one of them brings something to the performance. The song choice is perfect for an opener. It has that strong rock energy that immediately grabs your attention, and even includes a full guitar solo, which is something you almost never see in openings like this. What makes this such a great intro is that it showcases exactly what the choir is capable of: strong vocals, sharp choreography, and high energy from start to finish. This is a complete performance and one of the strongest openers on the entire list.
Three, Yehadashayim.
This is one of the most complete openers on the entire list. It starts off in a really dramatic way, with the low lighting and the choir already in motion, and then as the lights come up, the whole stage just comes to life. It immediately feels like a big production. The decision to open with a full dance break is a great one. It builds anticipation before the singing even starts, and sets the standard for the level of performance you're about to see. Choreography is strong and well executed, and what's impressive is how the choir moves around the stage and still manages to stay perfectly in formation. The staging also works really well. Having the band and adult choir directly behind them adds depth, and the multiple camera angles keep the performance visually engaging throughout. There's also a really strong lineup of soloists here. Yitzi Jakobowicz's solo really stands out with how powerful it is. The only real drawback is the costume. The white shirts and striped ties are quite plain, but the performance more than makes up for that. This is a high-energy, well-structured opener that delivers on every level.
One, Bahoya.
This might genuinely be the greatest boys choir opening performance of all time. Everything about this feels on a different scale. You've got a massive, sold-out venue, and from the very start, the choreography is unbelievably tight. This is a long song with multiple sections, and each one has its own choreography, and somehow every single part is executed perfectly. The level of precision here is just incredible. Oded is outstanding. Performing live, he sounds amazing and he has the stage presence to match. He's not just singing, he's commanding the performance. What really makes this stand out is how well the staging allows you to appreciate the choreography. The simpler costumes with the silver cummerbunds actually work in its favor against the dark background. You can clearly see every formation even in such a huge venue, and those formations are flawless. Every movement is sharp, every transition is clean, it's just on another level. The Urich entrance is iconic. The entire choir turning and pointing upwards in perfect unison is such a powerful visual, and he fully holds his own, even joining in with the choreography. And then the ending, Sparkler's huge crowd reaction, it just feels like a true spectacle. This is everything you want from an opening performance: scale, precision, energy, and impact. For me, this is a perfect 50 out of 50. Do you agree with this ranking? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy this kind of content, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.